Our top story this morning, the United States has charged 4 Chinese nationals for targeting dozens of companies, universities and government agencies in the US and abroad between 2011 and 2018. This action comes right in the heels of the US and its allies publicly accusing China of a global cyber espionage campaign and calling out Beijing for hacking. The US Department for Justice has charged Chinese nationals with a global campaign of computer intrusion. The indictment alleges that 3 of the defendants were officers in a Chinese state security agency, which is part of China's Ministry of State Security. The 4th Chinese national is a contract hacker.
We are here today to announce the indictment of 4 Chinese nationals for coordinating a multi-year conspiracy to hack into computer systems belonging to private companies, universities, and government entities in the United States and around the world in order to steal sensitive research and technology. There have been many reports about cybercrime recently, but this prosecution is unique. This case is about a cyber hacking and economic espionage campaign led by the government of China. The indictment alleges that 3 of the 4 defendants were intelligence officers with China's Ministry of State Security, or MSS. They implemented the alleged cyber attacks through front companies in order to conceal the government's role in the illicit scheme.
Now, it is clear that the United States is no longer holding back. The White House announced that it would not allow any economic considerations to prevent them from taking actions where warranted.
We are not holding back. We are not allowing any economic circumstance or consideration to prevent us from taking actions where warrant. And also, we reserve the option to take additional actions where warrant as well. This is not the conclusion of our efforts as it relates to cyber activities with China or Russia.
These actions, of course, come the same day that the United States and its allies condemned China for spying. The US was joined by a broad coalition of countries like the EU, Britain, Australia, Japan, New Zealand and Canada in calling out Beijing's malicious cyber activities. The Biden administration has accused China for hacking Microsoft email server software. It has further blamed Beijing for criminal extortion, issuing ransom demands to private firms from government-affiliated hackers, costing millions of dollars and threatening national security. In fact, the Microsoft Exchange Service hack, which came in light in January, had affected at least 30,000 U.S. organizations, including the local governments. U.S. President Joe Biden said that the investigation is underway. Let's listen in.
The Chinese government, not unlike the Russian government, is not doing this themselves, but are protecting those who are doing it, and maybe even accommodating them being able to do it. That may be the difference.
The United States also plans to publish a list of 50 tactics and procedures that Chinese hackers utilize when targeting U.S. networks, hoping to make vulnerable entities more prepared. The list will also include technical solutions to confront the threat. The European Union has also blamed China for targeting the government and the economic institutions of its 27 member states. In a statement, the EU's foreign policy chief, Josep Borrell, has said that the hacking was conducted from the territory of China for the purpose of intellectual property theft and espionage. The United Kingdom, meanwhile, urged the Chinese government to take responsibility for its actions and respect democratic institutions. It also warned that if it does not end its hacking activities, then it will be held accountable for them. But while such statements from Western powers indicate an alliance, experts say that lack of consequences for China beyond indictments by the US was conspicuous. And our correspondent, Caroline Malone, sent us this report. Listen in.
Well, the Biden administration and Western allies blamed China on Monday for what they called malicious cyber activities, including the massive hack on Microsoft Exchange servers. They said there's evidence Beijing's Ministry of State Security used criminal hackers to carry out unsanctioned cyber operations, including for their own personal profit. Well, some of the cases include ransomware attacks on victims in the US, with demands for millions of dollars. Well, the EU, UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Japan and NATO joined the condemnation by the US. Well, Washington has not introduced sanctions against the Chinese government, as it did against Moscow for Russian-affiliated hacking. However, the Justice Department has announced charges against 4 Chinese nationals, said to be working with the Chinese Ministry of State Security. It's accused them of targeting dozens of computer systems, including at companies, universities and government entities, and stealing trade secrets and confidential business information.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.